All right, what's going on, guys? So, a few of you have been asking me how you can kill Abyssal Lords with relative safety. So, figured I'd make a quick guide for it because it's not very difficult and it's faster than the current magic setup, as well as a little bit safer. So, essentially, you're going to need 4 pieces of first Necromancer gear. You can do it with tier 90 power armor or tier 90 tank armor. Your survivability is going to be the same. The big issue is your kill speeds are going to be way slow if you're not using the first Necromancer gear. So, have to use first Necromancer gear in order for this to be competitive with the magic setup. We are also using an Amulet of Souls. You don't need to use an Essence of Finality here, so there's no reason to spend all that money on repair costs. We can just use an Amulet of Souls. And you need a Tzkal cape. We also have tier 90 weapons. I'm bringing my support cape because this teleports me to Laniakea, so this is how I get my tasks. I have a Scripture of When. I basically never turn it on. If you want to run a Scripture of When is the one that you're going to use. If you don't care, I just have it because it has the best stats of any book slot. You can use Darkness if you want. So I have my Necromancer's Nexus. It doesn't matter though. I personally never use it. Beyond that, we have a Luck Ring. We have Elder Overload Salve, Weapon Poison plus plus plus, and Aggression Flasks. These are all pretty mandatory. If you don't have a salve, it is likely that you're just going to slowly drain health. So be aware, if you don't have a salve, this is what's going to happen. As for the rest of the inventory, Spring Cleaner is here to clean up drops. Artificer's Measure, in case they drop uncut diamonds, you don't want them clogging up your inventory. That's what this is here for. And uncut dragonstones. Also using an herb bag. They drop a lot of herbs, and they also drop a lot of Triskelion pieces. Consequently, we're bringing the herb bag just to make sure we can pick everything up. If you don't have this, it's not necessary. Maybe 1 out of every 10 Slayer tasks, I'll have too many things, in which case you just drop the cheapest herb. We're bringing in Oldak Coil. This is mandatory. Without an Oldak Coil, the tentacles that Abyssal Lords spawn are going to kill you. So you have to bring an Oldak Coil, period. It's not up to you. Also bringing 1,000 cannonballs. You're never going to go through this many cannonballs, but I have that many. Bringing a tuned ectoplasmator just cleans up the drops a little bit. I don't like seeing all the ashes on the ground. And if I'm going to be burying them anyways, may as well bring a tuned ectoplasmator. And then Pontifex Ring is for when your Abyssal Mask runs out of charges. If you don't have a Mask of the Abyss, then this is your only way of actually getting there. So let's grab a task. Okay, she's going to let me pick. That's convenient. Okay, so now we're just going to teleport straight there. Teleport to Sentencing Asylum. I do need to change around my action bar a bit, so give me 1 second to show you the bar that you're going to use. Okay, we're back. So this is the bar that you're going to use for this. And then you want to make sure your auto retaliate is on. And in your settings, under gameplay, you want to make sure it automatically triggers your ultimate abilities. This is all mandatory. You need to have pretty high gear and setup in order to actually do this. So this exact spot that I'm standing in is where you want to set up your Oldak Coil. You can put it other places, but in my experience, you're most likely to just sit under your coil, which protects you from the abyssal tentacles in this particular spot. There are other places you can put it, but this is the one that works for me. In terms of your aura, penance is mandatory. You can use vampirism aura and use penance powders, but you're never really going to die here, and you need your prayer anyways, so I just would use penance. It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, so we'll turn penance on. We'll walk under our Oldak Coil. We'll activate all of our pots. We will load the Oldak Coil, and then we'll put on Protect from Magic. And this is the setup. Now, in terms of other things I have, you may see these occasionally get executed. This is because I have the tier 3 guardhouse. That's what that is. It's not Deathmark or anything. If you do want to run one piece of Death Dealer here, that could be worth it. You see this guy just dragged me down, but it's fine because this guy's going to drag me back up, so it's not a big deal. Now, if your health ever drops lower than you would like it to be, you can use Devotion. Every time you use Devotion, it'll basically heal you like 4k because the little tentacles will keep expanding your Devotion timer up to like 20 seconds. So that's just what I'd recommend doing. Normally, this guy doesn't get tagged, but it does happen sometimes. That's why it walks me down. But it's fine because this guy is going to pull me back under my old coil. But you can see how if this was 1 square east, I potentially might not have tagged these tentacles, and then that would have been really bad for our survivability if you're going to AFK it. So I don't like how low my health is, so I'm going to Devotion. You see, we just got 17 seconds worth of Devotion. So now our Ghost is going to heal us once something spawns. Unfortunately, everything just kind of died, but it's all good. You're really not going to die here as long as you're paying attention. And then in terms of paying attention, I use Alt-1 toolkit with the AFK Warden. I have it ping me whenever my health is below 6,000. So that's the number that I would use. Whenever your health is below 6,000, you use Devotion, you'll be all set. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You see we're getting our kills. We're not really at any risk of dying. This is faster than using magic. So if you've killed these with magic in the past and you just want to get back to killing these, this is currently the fastest way of doing it and the safest. Our health is pretty low here, so we'll use our Devotion. This guy is tagging us a lot. That's pretty abnormal. That hasn't happened to me before, so I don't really know why this guy's tagging us so much, but it's all good. You can see under our Devotion, we healed like 3,000 HP. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you want to be more active, you can use Volley of Souls whenever your stacks are full. You can use Finger of Death whenever you have Necrosis stacks. Both of those are options. Personally, it's not that serious. I just don't bother with all that. When I'm on my last couple of kills, I will use Volley of Souls and Finger of Death. So like right now I'm at 227. If I was at 15 and I had 3 of them attacking me, I would Threads, Volley, and then Finger of Death, Finger of Death. It'll kill all 3 of them, and then I just get to pack up myself and leave. But yeah, that is going to be it for this. I know this is more of like a money-making guide and not a bossing guide, but I've had enough people ask me how they can go about killing Abyssal Lords, so I figured I'd make something quick. Now, the main reason that we do Abyssal Lords is that their XP per hour is pretty competitive. It's around 800k XP per hour, but the Slayer XP per hour is 1.8 mil. So if you're training Slayer, especially over double XP, this is probably going to be your best method of training Slayer while also getting pretty meaningful Necro XP. It's also the best AFK money per hour, I believe, from Necromancy, not including, you know, Krill or whatever, like in terms of bosses. I believe in terms of Slayer mobs, I'm 99% sure this is going to be your best GP per hour, assuming you're hitting Scourges on drop rate. So, yeah, super good stuff. Highly recommend you guys look into this, especially if you have the level for it. It is 115 Slayer, which is a lot, and it does require you have max gear, but the XP is there. So, yeah. Thanks, guys, for watching. Let me know if you're interested in more of the money-making style videos. But, yeah. Thanks, guys, for watching. I'll see you in the next one.